Henry Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right." Welcome to McBain Moments. Henry Ford was an icon. He was an innovator, an inventor. I mean, you can... Obviously, his name is all over the place. He founded one of the big three motor companies. But he didn't start life that way. He started life in the poorhouse. Grew up in poverty. And he thought his way out of it by creating something that everybody wanted. So, what does that really mean? How do you go about doing this? So what Henry Ford did is the first thing he did is he said, I can be better. I can get out of this. And then he said, how do I get out of this? And he goes, I need to solve problems. See, before Ford, motor cars were extremely rare. They were expensive. I mean, the average person couldn't buy a car. And so Ford came up with the Model A. And later the Model T, which was really the first mass production car. But he solved the problem of transportation for everybody. And so what he decided is, I want to solve this problem, and I will find a way. And it doesn't matter what roadblocks I run into, I will solve this problem. It's the same way that he got his engineers to create the first 8-cylinder engine on a single block. It took them like 2-3 years to invent the engine. They kept failing and failing. And Ford was like, don't care how much money it takes, don't care how long it takes, you get it done. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. And that means that if you go out there and you say, I can achieve this thing, barring physics, because I know I got someone out there that's going to drop that in the comments. Barring physics, if you think you can do a thing, and you keep at it hard enough, and you put enough energy into it, you put enough effort in, you will accomplish the thing. I think the biggest problem with achieving, and I suffer from this, and the majority of people have this issue. Most people don't know or understand just how much effort it's going to take to achieve the things that they want to accomplish. And so they go into it thinking, okay, I want to accomplish X. And to accomplish X, it's going to take Y energy. And so I'm going to put exactly Y energy into it. And then when Y energy doesn't solve X, they go, well, it must be impossible, or maybe I'm just not good enough. No. The problem isn't that you can't do X. It's that you miscalculated Y. And so when you miscalculate Y, you have to go back and say, well, how far did I get with the amount of energy that I was putting into it? Okay. What would happen if I doubled that energy? Or tripled that energy? Grant Cardone's favorite term is 10x. What if I 10x the energy? That's what it takes. Especially for the big stuff. And it doesn't mean you got to do it all at once. You know how big I am on iteration. Do little things over and over and they're going to build up to a big thing. It's kind of like building a YouTube channel. I do a whole bunch of videos over and over and hey, suddenly I've got subscribers. The fundamental cause of failure boils down to another Henry Ford quote that I wanted to share with you. And that's, most people spend more time and energy going around problems than trying to solve them. Think about that for a second. I'll wait. Pause the video. You back? Okay. Most people spend more time and energy trying to go around problems than trying to solve problems. The problem with going around problems, and there are some problems you have to go around. This is not to say that every problem is solvable by one individual. But a lot of times a problem will be recurring. The more times you have to go around that problem, you got to slalom around it, the more time and energy it takes you to reach your goal. The thing about solving the problem is it may take a whole bunch of energy up front, but the next time you run into it, it takes almost no energy at all. And so it snowballs. And suddenly you're going a lot faster. And that's the whole premise behind the Pareto distribution. If you don't know what the Pareto distribution is, look it up. It is one of the fundamental elements of our reality. And it is one of the most important concepts they don't teach in school. And basically it means that the more you have, the more you'll get. Theologists call it the Michael principle. And so you start here, and it's a slow startup, and the faster you start to go, the faster you start to gain. And it creates this arc, which is really weird doing backwards because I need to make sure it's good for the camera. And so as you build up, the build-up gets faster. And that is the whole premise behind solving problems. You got to solve all the problems down here so they're not problems up here. Otherwise, you're just going to keep on slowly growing. And while slow growth is still growth, if you just solve the problem the first time, it's not a problem in 10 years. You run into it. Yup, I know exactly how to fix that. And if you don't know how to solve it, you can find someone who does. Utilize your network. Build a team. A mastermind. Napoleon Hill was huge on the mastermind. I should do a whole series on masterminds. It is how you get the snowball going. What it comes down to is you need to start by thinking you can. Because you can. Think you can, and you will achieve. Think you can and put the effort into it, and you'll achieve greater. You have it in you. If you're working on something, let me know what it is. Don't forget to subscribe. I didn't even do my intro. Make sure you subscribe. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers. One subscription at a time. See how I utilize the Pareto distribution? This has been a McBain moment.